And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. I'm Gary Kaltbaum, your host. Hey, thanks for being with us today. Glad you're here, ladies and gentlemen. Happy that you are listening. It's the 10th, July, Friday, 2026. And I got to tell you, I wouldn't mind if the market was open 7 days a week, but that's the way I used to think. Now I'm so happy it's Friday, I can't begin to tell you. Anyway, hope you're having a good day. As always, serious talk on everything that affects you. The markets, the economy, your job, war, tariffs, liars, cheaters, and stealers. Not the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're talking about all of D.C. and whatever else I think matters. Simple as that. And if you do not get this radio show in your city, we'll post it at GaryK.com. We'll also post it on our X feed. And if you don't follow us on X, you should. Just put our name in. And if you'd like to email us, just be nice and respectful. We'll be nice and respectful back unless you like Hamas and you're a terrorist and you're a racist and all that crap. And we'll also post it at the BizTV YouTube channel. Okay. First things first. Semifinals of Wimbledon. Sinner beat Djokovic 4-4-4, but it wasn't that close. I told peeps 6 years ago that Sinner was going to be number one eventually. I watched him before he ever got into the realm, and boy, oh boy, he played magnificent today. As you know, I go to Wimbledon very often. I did not go this year. I'll be there next year, I can promise you that. And you know what I'm going to do next year? I'm going to do a Scotland golf trip with Wimbledon. How's that? I can't wait for that. Hey, I feel the number one job that we do here with the markets is what not to be in. Where is trouble? I get a kick out of being able to tell you, for instance, avoid crypto, all of it, starting November 4th of last year. And of course, and really warned about MicroStrategy. I get a kick out of that. I get a kick out of when there's real froth and speculation, and you have no sales companies, and we tell you that eventually it's going to be a disaster, and eventually does happen. And we're in hopes you listen. Assume that we know what a downtrend looks like, we know what a bear market looks like, and all that. And then something else. For the past couple of years, and this comes under the heading of sometimes you have to sit back and know what the market's giving you or not giving you. And for the past couple of years, I have told you, I don't know why. Well, I do know why. They're greedy. Wall Street keeps putting out, well, first off, we can go back to the SPACs. The SPACs that destroyed wealth. And I don't know if you know this, there's a guy now that a billionaire because of the SPACs, and he sold out all his shares before they crashed, and people are treating him like because he's a billionaire. You can go look him up. We have nothing but disrespect for the guy. But we were just watching and noticing and reporting to you, boy, they keep bringing out more initial public offerings onto the market. They tout, they shout, they promote, they open up hot, and they pretty much all have crashed. Now, after the crash, some of them have rallied because they're doing good things. But for the most part, utter destruction. Utter destruction. My favorite one, but really not favorite because of what it's done, was this Gemini space station that came out as a cryptocurrency exchange like there's no other cryptocurrency exchanges. And they brought it out at $28. They opened it at 46. It closed the same day at 32, and it's 4 and change. They lose tons of money. Revenue is like $170 million. And at the highs, it had like a $5 billion market cap, I think. And they're firing a bunch of people. And they were just, believe me, they were yapping away. I mentioned, I think in the last couple of days, this Fermi came out at 21. It was $36 on the second day, and it's $6.50. And by the way, it was down 10% today. It was down 10% today, down to $6.50. There was some news. They had to raise $375 million in a convertible, which potentially dilutes the shares you have. That's not good news. And why do we bring this up? Because they did it again. SpaceX. And what we have said to you on this show, we don't have any edge. There's no edge right now because it's too new. But what we do know is they were yapping away, touting away, while we're simply telling you the valuation is a joke currently. That's not hard to put pen to paper. So what do? They do the deal at 135. They open it at 150, and hallelujah. And if you didn't watch, you'll have to trust me when I tell you they were going nuts. And they had it up to $226 in 2 days. That day, they closed it at 202. 3 days later, it was under 150, closing at about 155. And we're sitting here telling you, even at these levels, it has a $2 trillion market cap. They brought it out. A little under $2 trillion market cap in a company that loses $5 billion, cash flow negative, and only $18 billion in revenues. And I got a news for you. I don't give a crap if they do $50 billion next year. Currently, it's a joke. It's an absolute joke. And then we said to you something else. Recently, 150 is held. And the reason it's held is because the investment bankers don't want it going under 150 because that's where they opened it up after the initial public offering at 135. If it breaks under 150, everybody who's bought the stock after the IPO is losing money. And it'll tend to feed on itself. Well, in the last couple of days, it went below but finished above. Today, it dropped 4.5%. It closed at 145.20. Everybody is, by the way, that's a new low. Everybody who's bought this stock in the aftermarket at a joke of valuations is now losing money. And we've taken pains to tell you, listen, I don't know what happens next. I don't have an edge. I just know valuations. It's a joke. Yet they're on TV yapping away and yapping away and yapping away how it's this, that, and the other thing, and we're just putting the pen to the paper for you. So we just hope you listen, because it's just another one that they brought out too hot, touted the hell out of you, and you got buried. And I believe at the close of the show, we didn't really have time to go through it. There's a quiet period before analysts can discuss it and give out recommendations. Up next, wait till you hear, I'm going to tell you again on Investor's Edge. And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. So here's your Wall Street analysts. And I'm not going to mention the companies. SpaceX, all initiated. It's when you first come out with your first recommendation, initiated. Initiated with a buy. Initiated with an outperform. Initiated with a buy. Initiated with a buy. Initiated with a buy. Initiated with a buy. Initiated with an overweight, initiate with an outperform, initiated with an outperform, initiated with a buy, initiated with an overweight, initiated with an outperform, initiated with a strong buy, initiated with a buy, initiated with a buy, initiated with an outperform, initiated with an overweight. No sells. There is one neutral. Somebody came out with a neutral. And I what the hell does that mean anyhow? What's a neutral? If you don't like it, just say sell. In my world, there's no such animal as neutral. It's buy, sell, or hold. Anyway, you see a problem with this? All these genius analysts are telling you to buy a company with $2 trillion market cap, with $18 billion in revenues, a loss of $5 billion in the last year, negative cash flow, and they just floated $25 billion bond offering. It's insane. And we're just talking currently. And look what's happened. 225, it closed at 145 today. Last I looked, that's like 35, 36%. And we're not in a bear market. So we're going to keep doing what we do here. And that's warn the hell out of you when you should be warned. And we stated to you, listen, I don't know whether it goes to 300 or not. We don't have an edge on the trading just yet because there's no real patterns or stuff like that. We just know. And the other part of the equation, if I had a buck for everybody that went on TV to tell you to buy all these space stocks because they're bringing out SpaceX and the valuation, they've crumbled the other space stocks. They've crumbled them. Do you know why? Because they all lose money. That's why. And they all have asinine valuations. This Rocket Labs that was hyped like crazy, today, after it has dropped from $151 to $81 in 6 weeks, has a $50 billion market cap with, they don't have $800 million in revenues. It's insanity. And I'm just an idiot who just puts a pen to the paper. How the hell do you want to pay? By the way, at 151, the market cap was $90 billion. And they lose money. So we're going to keep doing what we're doing here on that end. And hopefully, eventually, they come out with IPOs at normal prices. I hear Anthropic is going to be another nonsense. And the other AI thing, more nonsense. Let's see, Planet Labs. Here's one, only a $10 billion market cap with $300 million in revenues. And they lose money, just went from 52 to 26. Oh, that's 50% drop. How about this one? Black Sky Technology, 52 to 25. Nice. How about LUNR, Lunar, gotta be good. 47 down to 16. 47 down to 16. By the way, this is all in 6 weeks. And they were all promoted like crazy. AST Mobile, let's see. 134 to 73. Oh, that has a $29 billion market cap here with revenues of $100 million. Which means 20 billion, it's down 45%. It had about a 45 to $50 billion market cap. Oh, that's right. They lose a lot of money. So again, we did it with the nuclear stocks that unfortunately the president keeps yapping about. We did it with the rare earth. Unfortunately, the president keeps yapping about rare earth and taking positions in no sales rare earth companies. We warned you about the drone companies. Oh, the quantum companies. They've destroyed them. They absolutely destroyed the OKLO, we told you, was the poster child of utter stupidity. It still has an $8.6 billion market cap today with no sales. It's at $49. It was $194 in October of last year. September, we were warning you about it. It was one of the poster children. Oh, by the way, there's buy recommendations for all from the top down. That never changed. So we hate even having to do this, but we must when it needs to be done. We did it with the Trump stocks, which I'm going to vomit over. We did it with the crypto, not Bitcoin, but the other things like that GEMI. And whenever anything else shows up like crazy, we did it with Rivian when it first came out, and it had a market cap almost as big as GM and Ford, even though they had no sales, and GM and Ford had like, what, 300 billion in sales? Sometimes they are just sore thumbs. And they make it easy for me to come out here and say, careful. Be careful. And you know what's happened recently? You know, as the AI stocks went skyward, it lifted all boats, even the very speculative ones, in the semiconductors, in the any AI, memory, optical, all that. The specs have crashed. We're going to keep it up. Up next, today's market, week in review. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. Yeah. All right. So, Dow is up 150, S&P 31, NASDAQ 74, NASDAQ 198. The Russell was down, but you had a little worse this first today. Retail had a strong day today. First is worse. Biotech's, which been strong, was blasted today. They bounced a little bit of the metals and mining. I will tell you that I now have how many? Couple of I have some restaurants at new yearly highs. I have some retail. Crocs is at new yearly highs. Restaurants Brinker International hit new yearly high today. So did Cheesecake Factory. So some of that's going on. Economically sensitive, pretty much green. Financials had a pretty good day, but that doesn't matter because next week, ladies and gentlemen, Tuesday, before the open, Bank of America, Citigroup, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo reporting. Wednesday before the open, BlackRock, Bank of New York Mellon, M&T Bank, Morgan Stanley, and PNC Bank. Thursday before the open, State Street, Truist, U.S. Bancorp. Catching my drift? Oh, and by the way, next week also Fifth Third Bancorp, Regions Financial, Travelers in the insurance. Netflix reports next week. United Health reports next week. In the Dow, GE reports. Let's see, UAL, JB Hunt reports. Anything else stand out there? Oh, ASML, very important semiconductor. So earnings season starts next week. Just letting you know. But financials had a pretty decent day, but a wild week. We saw American Express down 12 and up 10 in 2 days. That's not normal. We're kind of seeing that in IBM also in the Dow, trading like penny stocks. Very weird. Warning shot. I'm not enamored with not all, but a lot of the semiconductors and artificial intelligence plays that were working, that are no longer working, that they've bounced around a little bit. I think a lot of them are in downtrends now, at least on the short-term basis, and be a little bit careful there. On the other end of the spectrum, guess what's showing up finally again? Nvidia. Nvidia has been dead money. And then on Tuesday, it held the longer-term 200-day moving average, was having a bad day and finished good. Wednesday had a good day. Yesterday was weak early but finished okay. Today, up 4%. And broke back above the 50-day, back above the big $200 number. It's still trading where it did last October, but a hell of a lot better than 4 days ago. So while other semiconductors are heading south, Nvidia is heading north over the last few days. I didn't see any news to do that, but just letting you know. One little thing's missing, though. Lack of volume. Maybe it's just the summer, I don't know. Just don't know. What else today? Software, the strongest software names we've been talking about, software security and stuff like that, they had a very bad day today. Harsh pullback. I'll have to evaluate that over the weekend. Yields bounced a little bit today. Oil was down a little bit today. As I have told you on this show, I don't think we have any control of Iran. Every time the president says, yeah, they called me and want to make a deal, he's full of crap. I don't believe a word he says on that, because 5 minutes later, Iran says, never even spoke to him. And by the way, there are people posting on social media since April, actually March. How many times the president says Iran wants to make a deal and we're a day or two away? Like 300 times. We'll just keep our fingers crossed that something gets done. We don't have to deal with this crap anymore. As we told you, and this is nothing on anybody except to say, we said to you on this show, we're not in control of the situation, they are. And yeah, we militarily bombed the crap out of them, but they bombed the crap out of us. We have a bunch of bases over there that were bombed big time. Not to mention 13 soldiers dead and many injured that lost limbs. So let's hope that crap gets done. Because it's tiresome, and we're tired of the bull crap. The latest bull crap is President's firing a bunch of people that are involved in elections, and everybody's saying that they're going to try and pull a fast one November when the House goes to the Democrats. Gee, that's going to be a fun November. We'll see. As you can tell, my trust is low. Moving on. Did I mention Nvidia, right? And again, back on the AI and semis, we'll keep you informed. How's that? We'll keep you informed. I am, how do I put it? I am quite wondering if what we are seeing now in a lot of these semis and artificial intelligence names, and we've been saying to you it's been wide and loose trading, crazy moves, I'm just wondering. We'll let you know. We are not 100% clear of it, but when we tell you a lot of these names look like the price patterns, look like a 3-year-old with a crayon scribbling, we mean it. And typically that's not great news after a move up, but we're unclear so far, except to let you know, where? How's that? Other things going on, and little worrisome things. Jalen Brunson, his jersey, in game 1 of the NBA Finals went for $1 million. Someone bought a Brunson card in 2019 for $300. He sold it for $312,000. I'm just, and yeah, I'm jealous that I didn't buy that card. But I'm just letting you know some of the things I'm seeing. Pokemon cards. I mean, the prices are insane. They're insane. And it just, I don't know if you know this, but diamond prices have crashed after they went insane to the upside. Just keeping that in mind. And also keep in mind, there's this housing bill from the government that the president's supposed to sign because it was bipartisan. He's saying he's not going to sign because something's not in there, whatever. I don't want any housing bill from the government. The government screwed up the housing industry. It was government that caused the problems. It was government that took yields down to 0, the 10-year down to 0.5%. You ended up with 3% mortgages. Nobody wanted to sell. So prices skyrocketed because of that. Guess what's happened now? You have the biggest inventory ever and Fantasyland's coming down. What's the government's going to get involved even more? No, thank you. Stay away. You know what we want? Let the market fix it. That's what I want. Let the market fix it. Too much government. They're already running $2.2 trillion deficits. And I'll stop right there. I'm a big believer in leaving the markets alone. Every time they get involved, you know what happens. Government caused the 07-08. The Fed in their easy money. Who knows what's next? I'd like to be optimistic, but they don't know what the hell they're doing. Including this guy, who's supposedly a genius. Up next, this, that, and the other thing. This is the one only Investor's Edge. Da-da-da. By the way, I love reporting these things, and I'm not going to mention who. A certain actress who professes to be a climate warrior that tells us that we have to do something about climate change and conservation, used a private jet to go get a dress and fly it to her. Yes, it's a woman. You can go look it up. I'm not going to mention who. A private jet to go pick up a dress. Don't you love these people? I love these people. I always love when I see Leonardo DiCaprio on a yacht. A big frickin' yacht. And before that, he boards a private jet to go to that yacht. And then he gets an award for being a climate warrior. And he does this speech of what we have to do. These people suck. They suck. Hypocritical suckwads. Make me nauseous. Then they're given awards. The Climate Warrior Award to Leonardo DiCaprio. Oh, thank you, everybody, and it's amazing to watch. Anyway, she, not going to say who, sent a private jet to collect a dress, which, by the way, a private jet, oh, by the way, a long way. We would use up energy in, 10, 15, 20 years of what a private jet does, something like that I read somewhere. Anyway, just had to let you know. And speaking of that in the news, that Nazi from Maine is out. I guess on Monday will be out. They'll put somebody new in. And there's a bunch of mea culpas from them. Oh, I shouldn't, wouldn't, didn't, but, and I'm just thinking to myself, wait a minute. You waited for women to claim rape. It wasn't good enough the guy had a Nazi tattoo on his chest for 2 decades. That wasn't good enough to get rid of him. To think that maybe this guy is not so good. Anyway, the world is insane. Oh, by the way, the same goes for you-know-who. We're equal opportunity here. Equal opportunity. Heading into next week, will we start with a lot of bank earnings, and then we'll run into the next 3 weeks after that, earnings. All we are hearing right now is that earnings are going to be great. I'm just letting you know that's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm seeing. Earnings are going to be great. So shouldn't that mean, the market is... Just be careful. Don't jump the gun. Earnings could be great, and the market go down because the expectations were high, and they met them, but the market likes beating them. You get where I'm going? And of course, there are going to be stocks that gap big to the upside because of an earnings surprise or a sales surprise, and there are going to be some stuff that gaps to the downside because of quite the disappointment. We have no idea which is which at this point, but we'll be ready. I can tell you, in the artificial intelligence spectrum, guidance for some names are just not even in the red. Take the redwood trees and add several other redwoods on top of that. So we'll see. But be careful about all the jovial talk about her earnings. I've seen plenty of times markets top out on best earnings because they are the peak earnings of the cycle. And no, we are not predicting that. We are not predicting that in any way, shape, or form. We're just giving you all sides of the equation. We'll be ready. And what we do is we wake up a little bit earlier. We finish the day a little later. And what we simply do is, oh, there's the earnings. There's the sales. There's the increase or decrease. There's the reaction. And we start plotting it, seeing if there's a bunch of it going on in a certain group or going the other way, and then we deal with it as it comes. And again, starting with the banks as usual with a couple of others, I can tell you the banks have been acting pretty darn decently as of late. The big mega caps report in like 2 to 3 weeks. Netflix is this week, though, but Netflix has been, boy, oh boy, dead money. And I think that's just the industry. You can go look at some other entertainment stocks. Go look at Charter Communications. Go look at Comcast. Just bludgeoned. If anything changes, we'll let you know. But Netflix has been dead and has gone down the totem pole of influence in the market over the last year. And by the way, surprisingly so. It's not that the numbers are that bad. It's what the market thinks going forward. Lots of competition for the eyeballs. I wouldn't want to be in that industry. But for me, the most important thing I'm going to be watching is where has been the leaders, and we'll see how it goes. Hey, you all have a great weekend. Drive carefully. When you get home, do like we do. Quite simple. Make sure you hug your family, hug your children. They will feel better. You'll feel better. I promise. Stay well. Be well. Peace out all. Good night.